each day we help match those employers and those job seekers. And this November 20th event is a first in Colorado. We are excited to have one day where we are blitzing this issue with those 7 regional job fair events. And then every workforce center is going to be having an open house. And I think that will provide a lot of energy around this issue, a lot of excitement around this issue. And we will be working to help folks one job at a time. We're pleased, Governor, to help you out in this endeavor and give it all we have. And we're pleased to have our system be there to help with economic health of Colorado and really help folks out. Thank you.
Thanks. Now, Greg Lopez from the Small Business Administration Regional Director. Thanks for being here, Greg.
You know, I just want to say this morning that the U.S. Small Business Administration is truly proud to be a partner with the Governor and also with the Colorado Bankers Association, and most importantly our lending partners in these efforts as we look to provide our small business community with access to capital. You know, with over 550,000 small businesses here in the state that contribute over $25 billion to the economy of Colorado, we truly believe that small business is the backbone of Colorado. The SBA has taken a statewide leadership in the role as to reach out to our small business owners during these turbulent economic times. You know, in October, I established the nation's first ever small business economic helpline to give entrepreneurs a single contact point to address their needs. Earlier this month, we addressed a credit crunch issue by giving small business owners 5 tips, critical steps to accessing small business capital. Today I stand here to tell you that the Small Business Administration is proud to stand with the Governor's office to do all that we can to make sure that Colorado small business succeed during this crucial holiday season as well as into the future. I commend the Governor and his staff. I commend Don Alleman for taking a leadership role in the critical issue and support this creative and timely proposal to help small business owners in need and to advise those individuals that wish to take part in the American dream of starting a new business. So we're excited to be a partner with the Governor's office, and we look forward to all the events that are yet to come.
I think Don Alleman, or Don Childers from the Colorado Bankers Association has not made it, so we're going to speak if he comes, well, he can speak to it, but we'll open it to questions.
Governor, this is billed as a $12 million package, and if I understood what you were saying at JBC, that's kind of 4.9, call it 5 up front, and 7 if we get lucky, because if that $77 million reserve that is set aside actually materializes, 40 goes to permanent revolving fund, 30 to bridge repair, and that final 7 would flesh out this. Very simply, where does the first $5 million so-called hard money request go, and what would be funded with the $7 million if we get it?
So there's also money that's already involved here, and this is some of it's additional money to our efforts. This is not all new initiatives. If you think the Clean Energy Fund, that's something that we set up in 07, 08. So
obviously your job fairs are in this fiscal year, and this is the upcoming.
Right, but we should be clear that this isn't a brand new initiative. We're just doing it for the first time. The Clean Energy Fund, half of that was dedicated to economic development as well. So the money that is the $4.9 million hopefully will be divided between our efforts with community colleges and doing job training with community colleges that is specific to the kinds of industries that are in the region where the community colleges are. We already have some of these efforts going on, and they've been, quite frankly, successful. Some of them are in what would be called the renewable energy industries, and actually, if you think Trinidad Junior College, it has a program with the traditional energy industry where they have devoted efforts at that college that are specific to welders and auto mechanics and people who go into the construction industry because of the need there with the number of gas fields. This adds money to that notion that you can make investments in community college, get additional people into those community colleges and train them for the industry specific to that area. Northeastern Junior College is like that.
If I'm tracking what you're saying, then that first $4.9 million roughly is all in that community college area, and the rest would materialize?
No, about part of that is community colleges, and then part of it is this Access to Capital initiative that Don Alleman spoke about. I think the JBC members honed in on access to capital can sound like it will be, you know, a revolving loan or just making loan money available to small businesses. And I think Don was saying is we're in the process of really working with the Colorado Enterprise Fund, with the Small Business Administration to say, how do we best spend that other money so we ensure that we're assisting small businesses during a downturn. And some of that may, quite frankly, wind up in a revolving loan, but it may not at all. It may go into job training. It may go into training small businesses around how they access capital in a downturn. And those are things that are being fleshed out. He asked the JVC for some patience in defining with some specificity before the beginning of the legislative session how that's going to work. But that money that we're talking about, the $4.9 million, is split between those two arenas.
Governor, you talked about a $12 million package, but isn't it true that $7 million of that dollars, we won't even know if we have that until 2010 or 2011?
No, we'll know really at the end of the fiscal year, July of 2010, whether or not that comes in.
Oh, next year. Okay.
So, but that is this fiscal year. This is 09-10, and that money, as it flows in, the revenue is there to support it. Even if, and you know how this works, if the forecast on March of 2010 supports it, then we'll have that money available for us to do.
Right away, okay. Didn't the legislature, I'm sorry, just a quick follow-up, didn't the legislature approve a measure, and maybe I didn't follow through all the way, but there was a measure, a bill in the legislature last year to have community college curriculum on renewable energy. And I thought it was a $5 million program. Is that not there? Did I miss that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do I know what I'm talking about?
For a $5 million.
It may not be $5 million.
But yeah.
I think it was closer to 1.5, and it was a recommendation. It wasn't an actual policy that was set, and it was to use money from severance tax and to direct that. And it was a request to have the Department of Local Affairs to review a proposal to put $1.5 million in severance tax money into the types of programs you're talking about.
So was that not approved?
It was in a footnote, you know,
So it was approved?
it was approved, you know, and I can get back to you on the status of it, I'm not sure.
So I'm sorry, the $7 million that's in the rest of this package, with that not coming until possibly June or July 2010, that maybe the recession will be over by then. Or is the state missing a chance to do stimulus now when it might be more needed?
I think what the state has to do now is to look at,